Today, in our beautiful colony, we've got a lot of big projects to work on. The main thing that I want to focus on is this, our industrial district, which has come a long way, and is not quite complete. It's not quite finished because we need to expand it. We need to expand it more, and I think we're going to expand out this way a little bit over here, over on this section. So we're going to have maybe another building here, another one here, maybe another one here, something like that. And as you can see here, I've also added a bit of a waterfall with a river here. So we're gonna have like a bridge that goes over this into this new area. Yeah, this new area is gonna be where we put our crusher, where we put our sifter, and potentially a concrete mixer's hut, some things like of that nature. But before we get into that, I want to see these buildings completed. This one and this one are two builders' huts, are two new builders' huts. I need them done because I need my builders. I need all my builders' help today because two of my builders are going to be completely out of commission, focusing on this building, the town hall, and this building, the university. So while we're waiting for, so while we're waiting for these two buildings to finish, let me just deal with this. Let me just deal with this before one of my colonists get murdered. No. All right, so while we're waiting for these two buildings to get up, let's go lay out the rest of our industrial district. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get a little bridge going right over this little river section, right over into here. We got this cute little bridge all done going over the little river, which is really nice. But so far, it's just going straight into wilderness. So we're going to have to clear out some of these trees to make way for some big buildings. All right, so these are the builds I want to place down today. The sifter, the crusher, the mechanic's hut, and the concrete mixer's hut. However, the concrete mixer requires research at the university, so that's the first thing we're going to be doing, figuring out what research we need to do in order to get the concrete mixer's hut going. All right, so right here, pave the road unlocks the concrete mixer's hut, and that requires at least one level 1 crusher. So that means that our sifter and our crusher, and probably our mechanic's hut, are going to have to go down first before we can get our concrete mixer's hut down. So let's start taking a look at these buildings and seeing how we want them to be laid out. So I think that our mechanic's hut should go right here. I think that's a perfect place for it. So that's where we're going to put it. Now, hopefully somebody will come along and build that building really quickly. Next, I want to look at the sifter and the crusher. Let's take a look here at the sifter's hut. Not a super big building. And I think, you know what? It'll probably fit relatively well immediately next to our mechanic's hut like that. Next, we have our crusher. And aesthetically, actually, the crusher is quite an interesting building once it's leveled up all the way. So I think I want to make sure to have it somewhere that it is, shown off a little bit. I'm kind of thinking down here by this river would be a good spot, because then you can see all that mechanical stuff peeking out from the side there. Yeah, you know what? I think that's actually going to be a perfect spot for that. Yep, okay, perfect. Placing that down right there. All right, there we go. There's 3 more buildings down. And while our builders are focused on that, I'm going to actually start getting some of this road in. All right, there we go. We've got another little section of road in here, which is looking really nice. And our mechanic's hut is coming along. However, Eric is going to need a few things in order to get that done. An oak pressure plate, a piston, redstone repeater, yada, yada, yada. So let's go help him out with that. Because currently our colony can't make that stuff because that stuff is made by the mechanic. All right, there you go. Eric, you are fully supplied. And while we're here, let's check out everybody else. Adrian is pretty good. Dominic's good. Sophia's good, but she hasn't built anything yet. She's only used 1%. So where the heck is Sophia? Is she sick? No, she's not sick. Is she in the restaurant? Eating breakfast or something? Sophia? No, she's not in the restaurant. What the heck? Oh, she's currently... Oh, I see. I think I know where Sophia is. She's down here, building away. Somewhere. Where is she? I don't know, but I don't know where she is, but she is getting work done. So, you know what? I'm just not going to worry about it. Yeah, I think everybody else has everything they need. So now we're just waiting for those builds to get done, I think. Oh, there's one building done. The mechanic's hut is now complete, along with some interesting redstone contraptions inside. All right, now that that building's done, I think we have 2 builders free. And I think Sophia should be pretty close to completing her... Yeah, it's done. It's done. Okay, amazing. We got our 2 builders huts, but they're only at level 1. So they're pretty low quality right now. And I also don't see that they have any workers in them, so that's a problem. But for now, we're just going to upgrade this one and upgrade this one to level 2 immediately. And considering that there's no workers in those buildings, that's going to mean that all of our new buildings over here, like these two, our crusher and they're probably not going to get any employees either. I'm thinking that means that our colony has now used up all of its space, which means we're going to need more apartment buildings, more residences. I think if we've got the space, we're going to put down 4 more. I think 2 of these residences are going to go right over here, right in this space here. So let's get those down. We got one going in right here, and we're going to have another one going in immediately next to it. Just like that, our double apartments. Boom. Placed down. Build options, build this. Build options, build that. Ba-boom, baby. And then we have this little plot here and another one over here. And I'm actually thinking that I'm going to leave those clear for a couple parks. Maybe we'll put some leaves around. Maybe we'll like make a little like courtyardy looking thing with like yeah. But yeah, those two little places there are going to be left alone so that we can have a nice park for our colony. You know, I'll be completely honest. I got those 2 buildings down and I have no idea where to put another 2. But I do have an issue that I'd like to resolve here right away, which is this. This building right here, the hospital, is in sort of a weird position. A very weird position, honestly. And I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it needs to get tucked up a little bit closer to this building right next to it, this one right here. Because as it is currently, it's kind of weird, and it's taking away from this whole area in general. Lucky for me, this building is only level 1 so far, so I think we're just gonna clear it and replace it with something else. So time to do a big teardown of this hospital here. There we go. Now that that's all been cleaned up, we're going to shift this over a little bit. That right there, that looks like a much better place for our hospital to sit. It's not a big change, but it does make a big difference as to how our colony is laid out. I think that here in front of this house, we'll have a little park right here. Probably have a second guard tower here and here. And then same with over on this side, we'll probably have a little park in front of this house here. But that's going to be a lot nicer. Build options, build building. All right, these houses are now up to level 2. So let's get them up to level 3. So that they're the same level as all the other buildings. And that should add 6 more colonists to our colony, which is pretty good. I also have a plan to add a lot more of these buildings over here. Probably along this section right here. I think that will hopefully hold us over until that happens. Right now, I just want to get a few of these new buildings filled up with workers. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. Now that we have our crushing hut down, we should be able to get our concrete mixer's hut. So while our university is doing the research for the concrete mixer's hut, I want to put down another building over here, which is the library. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. Ooh, oh wow, it's quite a large building. You know what? I'm thinking right here would actually be a good place for our library. And this road will come right down this area right here, which is perfect. I think that that actually looks really good. And this library can actually help to kick off another section of our colony, which is going to be the luxury district, the high-end district, which is going to be kind of like in this space and then sort of over here as well. Like just sort of filling in this corner of this of the colony here. So I think the first thing we're going to put in is this building right here. And then the next thing we'll probably put in is another home maybe. But this time we're going to put in a fancy home. One of these villas. We can place it there like almost like the dean lives there. You know? And it also fits with our luxury district, which is going to go into the rest of this area. And that at least gets us another residence going, which is fantastic. Now, something we could potentially use to get our builders to go faster is this thing. The hammer. All right, let's try this hammer out. So I guess that I can help my builders build. And it looks like they're gonna need some spruce logs, some of these white canes. Oh, this is really cool. Hang on. Ah, I see. I had no idea I could do this. This is such a cool way of helping out. There we go. I was able to help my builders get these 2 builds done. Ooh, finish building the builder's hut. Hang on. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Both of our builder's huts down here are now at level 2. That's great. Okay. Build options upgrade. Level 3, here we come. I need these 2 builders huts to be at least level 3 before we start moving on. Oh, and there we go. The second one's done. So let's get that upgraded to level 3 as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my colony needs iron ore and gold ore. But not just any gold ore. Of course, they need this one, which actually took me a hot minute to find, but here we are. The deep slate gold is easy to find, but this stuff is a little less easy to find. Not gonna lie. I had to come to a very specific level. Level 14 is the exact spot where that stuff shows up. And also, check out what I found. A pickaxe heater, which is a really cool artifact. It automatically smelts mined ores when we mine them. But if we find some ore here, we mine this up. Look at that. Turns directly into iron. How awesome. Uh-oh. We got some barbarians to the northeast. Let's get them. Let's rustle them up. Hello? Oh, there they are. Have at they. Damn. Dude, these raids are getting bigger and bigger. Wait, there's one left. He's going into town. Get him! Get him, Braylon! You can do it! Take him out! Take him out! Haha! Nice job. Nice job, Braylon. Go to work. Wow. Braylon, you're keeping this colony safe for another day. Okay, so I got distracted again, and I decided to work on a project that I wasn't really planning on working on. But yeah, I kind of finished most of the decorating in the underground area, and honestly, it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty nice. It still needs a little bit of zhuzhing up here and there. I think it needs some plants, you know, some planted pots and stuff like that here and there. But I think it looks good, and I think it'll match the colony really, really nicely. Actually, once it's fully complete. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing this. This was not on my itinerary for today. I don't know why. But for some reason, my colony is struggling to get large milk bottles. And Bridget over here has like lots of milk. She's got lots of bottles, and she's getting the milk bottles. Like, I had a whole stack in here that I took out. I don't know why they're not getting moved from Bridget's area here over to the warehouse. It's very confusing. But anyways, let's take a quick look at the colony here. Because I want to upgrade a few buildings. Now, one thing I'd like to know is, do we have a builder working here yet? Yes, we have a builder. And this one over here, do we have somebody working here yet? Yeah, we do. And the builder's hut just finished. Amazing. Okay, that's great. All right, so we have 2 more builders in the colony, which should make things move a little bit quicker, which is nice because I have a few buildings here that I want to upgrade. The mechanics hut, which we will upgrade. I want to upgrade this building, the sifter, and this one over here, the crusher. And now that that's sorted out, I've got another building I want to place down, finally, because our research is complete, which is the concrete mixer's hut. Yeah, I think it's going to end up going like right there. And then we'll have another guard tower in this corner here, and that should pretty much cap off this side of the colony. Build options, build it. All right, so while those get built and upgrade, let's go check out the university again, now that we're free and clear, and see what kind of upgrades we want for our colony. Let's do tactics training to unlock the barracks, because we are going to want to place that down eventually. Workers can learn 25% more recipes at 64 paper. That's a good one. Let's do this one. Strong. Citizen tools plus 5% durability. That would be nice. There we go. Got all of our research going. And I think some of the builders got some of these builds done. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So that's one build done. Let's immediately get this upgraded to level 3. I want all these buildings up to at least level 3. And speaking of level 3 buildings, I actually didn't realize, but this building right here, our Fletcher's hut, it's still only at level 1. So let's get that one going too. This colony is growing so fast. Let's get our new builders to work. Let's check this out here. We got Kira and Abdil. Okay, well, Abdil, you're working on this. And Kira is working on our new resident building over here. There we go. You know, man, sometimes I spend too much time flying around and I don't just walk the streets of my colony to experience it this way, you know? Just sort of seeing what things are like. Because when I do this, I kind of realize how cool this place really is. You know? It's all really coming together. And you might have noticed, I cut down on the amount of lights. So now we have like half as many lights, which is kind of nice. Looks a little bit nicer when they're all spread out like that. All right, while I was waiting for some of these builds to go in, I decided to do a little railing here. I think, you know, that looks really, really nice. It adds a lot of zhuzh and detail to this part of the colony. You know, it's kind of necessary too. You know, you wouldn't want anybody to like fall off. I'm actually really finding it amazing how well this place is working. Like we're operating, I think, 6 different builds right now, and none of our builders actually need anything. Which means our colony is either producing or already has most of the materials they need for all of these different builds. Whoa, I just got hit by that. Look at that, these 2 buildings got finished at the exact same time. That's crazy. Our concrete mixer's hut needs to be upgraded to level 2, and our Fletcher's hut here needs to be upgraded to level 3. Ooh, mechanics hut is done. Oh my gosh, look at this. Holy. The speed, the absolute speed at which all of this is getting finished. Ooh, the crusher's hut is now at level 3. Nice, not a bad looking building. I like this little waterfall here. We can actually cook this up to our little stream that we got going on, which is great. It's gonna look really nice. I think our industry section of this colony is actually complete. Short of like upgrades and stuff like that, this area is basically done. Man, I really love seeing this place come together. Everything's just working out so well. And you know, I feel like I started this colony. When I started this colony, I feel like I started it in a way that like I was a little concerned about growth. I was a little concerned about expansion. I wasn't sure how things were going to turn out. But you know what? I think things turned out actually really, really well. But anyways, for now, I think that's the end of the episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one. and let me know how your day was, you know? Let me know how you've been doing this week, this fine week. I know it's just beginning, but you know, maybe you're having a good week, maybe you're having a bad week. Let me know if you want more live streams, because that last live stream we did was super fun, and I really kind of